Booger McFarland here with us talking NFL and college football. Compliments of Central Plumbing Company. Good morning, Boog. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. You all right? You kind of rumbling a little bit there.
Yeah. I was running on there. That was my bad.
Booger, look! Is Lamar Jackson elite?
I'm not going there with you.
Damn it! Next week.
What about, is it Tua time? You support it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer of not putting off the inevitable, and I think we all know it's coming, so why put it off? And I think, Fitzy is a guy who understands his role. He understands what he's there to do, and he supports it. Fitzy's got 7 kids, man. He's got a lot more important things in his life than playing quarterback. So he's like, hey, man, you take this. Let me worry about, see if I can get this Zoom class going for these kids.
Well, and the AFC East is kind of fascinating now, Boog, because this happens at a time when the Dolphins are 3-3, the Pats fall to 2-3, and the Bills at 4-2 feel way less secure than they did a couple of weeks ago. Did I make the correct decision in holding off on buying a Josh Allen jersey?
No, I still think Josh Allen has improved a lot. I still think he is going to be really, really good. He had a bad day, and I think he would agree with that. But overall, I think the biggest issue in Buffalo is their defense. Their defense is not playing well. That's supposed to be the calling card of their team, and right now that's struggling. But Josh is going to be fine. I still think New England is going to win that division.
You still?
Just because I do, because if you look at what New England can do, New England lost the other day. They only gave up 18 points, and there were 6 field goals.
Yeah.
So even with all the people that New England has had to opt out, even with all that going on, I still think their defense is the best defense in that division, and I think they'll win the division. Booger
McFarland every Wednesday, compliments of Central Plumbing Company. Your hometown right now has got to be a pretty cool place to be in with Tampa, the Rays in the World Series, the Lightning just winning the NHL, and then Tom Brady and the Bucs. Boog, were you surprised by the outcome last week at Lambeau, the way that they just handled Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay?
I wasn't surprised that they won. I was surprised that Green Bay's offense didn't make any adjustments, and it just goes to show you how good Todd Bowles is and how he deserves another opportunity to be a head coach. I think the Buccaneer team that we saw Sunday is the team that a lot of us envisioned when Tom Brady signed with Tampa. Mm-hmm. Really, really aggressive defense, an offense that can be opportunistic, a quarterback that won't turn the football over. Like, Tom Brady wasn't great, but Tom Brady made 3 or 4 throws that kind of gave the offense what it needed, and then the defense did the rest. If the Bucs can play that kind of defense, I don't know if anybody's going to beat them.
What is the ceiling for them? I mean, is that as good as they can play?
No, that's not even close. Oh. Mike Evans had 1 catch, I believe. Leonard Fournette didn't play. As good as it sounds, if they play at their best, I think they're more of a complete team than anybody because their defense is really, really good. And offensively, if Brady doesn't turn it over, think about this. They scored, 38 points, and Mike Evans, their best receiver, had 1 catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and don't look now, but Rojo is actually top 5 in the league in rushing yards.
I was about to say the stat that jumped out was that Brady threw it for 166, but they ran it for 155. They're balanced.
Well, I'm not going to call him Rojo until he performs consistently. I'm going to call him Ronald Jones, but he played well. I still think that their best lineup is going to be when they put Fournette in the lineup. I just think Fournette provides a physical presence. As good as Ronald Jones has been so far, I don't think teams in this league are afraid of Ronald Jones. I think Fournette can get going, and he can dictate games where I don't know if Ronald Jones can do that.
Boog, let's just keep flying around the NFL. One of my favorite teams to follow this year has been the Chicago Bears, leaders of the NFC North at 5-1. Such an odd kind of fascinating team where we don't think they're good, but they just keep winning. Can that happen in the league? Can you just keep winning, then all of a sudden, it doesn't matter what you thought you were at the beginning of the year, you actually make yourself into a good team?
Well, Chicago's a good team. Defensively, they are as good as anybody in football, and it's going to be on display on Monday night. People, I think, get this mixed view about Chicago because Trubisky was so bad and they changed quarterbacks. And usually when you change quarterbacks, that means your team is losing. Well, Chicago changed quarterbacks when they were 2-0 and undefeated.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why the perception of the team is a little different. But make no mistake about it, they are a really good football team. And if Nick Foles continues to kind of, find himself and play to the level that Matt Nagy expects him to, they are really good, man, because they know who they are. They're a defensive team that their offense has to figure out how to manufacture 21 points a week. And they really don't have a running game, but if they can manufacture 21 points a week, T-Bob, man, it's going to be hard to beat them because that defense is really, really good.
So, okay, it's interesting. I kind of feel like we have a theme emerging here, right? The problem with Buffalo has been the defense. The reason why you feel so good about the Bucs and the Bears are the defense. Who do you think right now, nearing halfway through this season, who's your best defense in the NFL?
I would go Chicago, Tampa,
Pittsburgh,
the Chargers. Who'd you say?
Pittsburgh? Are they in there?
Yeah, I'm working my way there. Give me a minute. I'm going from the NFC to the AFC. Jesus Christ. Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I still like New England. Maybe I'm missing one or two, but I think that about covers it.
What did you make of Cleveland the Cleveland-Pittsburgh game? That game was very much hyped up, and then Pittsburgh just kind of they defused that game from the start. It never felt like it was close.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield is playing terrible against the better teams. If you look at how he played against Baltimore and Pittsburgh, he just wasn't very good. Now, that doesn't mean that he's a terrible quarterback. That just means he's got to figure out how to play a little bit more calm in the bigger moments because he threw a pick six to Minka Fitzpatrick that, it's day one install of quarterback play, single high safety, man-to-man. You don't throw it in the middle of the field like that. So Cleveland is a running football team, and if they try to do something other than that, they're going to struggle. And when Pittsburgh got up on them, they forced them to throw the football, and they struggled.
Kyler Murray completed 9 passes on Sunday night, and Arizona bludgeoned Dallas 38-10. It never felt close. We will see Kyler Murray take on Russell Wilson this week, and I can't wait for the matchup of Seattle, Arizona, just because of the quarterback play. 2 things here. What do you make of Arizona, Kingsbury, and Murray? And then what the hell is going on in Dallas? How are they this bad?
Kingsbury and Murray, I think, are still trying to figure out exactly what they want to be. The other night, they ran the football really, really well. Kyler played really bad. He only completed 9 passes. But, let's realize the Dallas Cowboys are terrible.
Yeah. But how? Why? They have players, right?
No defense.
Well, no defense. The entire starting 5 offensive line was out of the game.
Yeah.
By the time the game ended, your starting quarterback has a broken ankle. Your $90 million tailback is fumbling, and hey, maybe that covers it. Maybe there's something else I'm missing, but that should do it. Arizona, I think, man, Arizona's going to be really good. Arizona's still missing guys that can rush the passer. Buda Baker is phenomenal. Patrick Peterson is still playing at a really high level. So they have players. I just don't know if Arizona can line up and run the ball against a really good team the way they did. And so Kyler Murray is going to have to be a lot better if they're going to win and win consistently.
All right, Boog, enough about last week. Let's get into this week. The biggest game, the one with the most playoff implications tomorrow night, the New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles. Winner gets the division lead. Boog, who you got?
I'm watching the Rays play. I'm not even watching.
Okay, in all seriousness, there is a massive matchup this weekend, and to me, it's Steelers-Titans. That just looks like 2 heavyweights preparing to go to toe-to-toe. I was blown away by Vrabel's 12 men on the field clock management last week. Who do you like in that matchup?
Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh has the ability to be the version of the Buccaneers on the AFC side. Like Pittsburgh, if they play their best, they're the most complete team on the AFC. Defense, really, really good. Ben Roethlisberger, Claypool, they can run the ball, they can throw it. They got guys that can rush the passer, win one-on-one. If they play their best, they're better than Baltimore, they're better than Kansas City, they're better than Tennessee.
What do you make of the Saints matchup versus the Panthers this weekend? After the week off.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm assuming Michael Thomas will be back since he's had several weeks off. Teddy Bridgewater in Carolina. You know, usually when you have division teams that play each other, we always use that line, well, everybody knows each other. Well, it's going to be a little different because, you know, New Orleans hadn't played Matt Rule yet. So it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with Matt Rule and this new Joe Brady offense. A little bit of a reunion there with Joe Brady and Sean Payton. So it should be fun. I think New Orleans is the better team. If you just told me New Orleans defense would show up, I think that's the big thing we don't know about. But it should be a good game. It'll come down to the fourth quarter. If the Saints don't turn the ball over, the Saints should win.
How you feeling about your Rays?
Not good, because if the Rays can't score more than 3 runs, they're not going to win. Like the Dodgers are a juggernaut. Yeah. And, you know, usually, anytime you have a situation in sports where you go offense or defense or pitching or hitting, I always take defense. But my goodness, are the Dodgers good offensively, man. And, you know, our guy Tyler Glass now, he got shelled last night, and you got Snell pitching tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But the Dodgers are going to be tough to beat, man.
Hit them straight on the golf course today, Boog. We'll talk next Wednesday.
Later.
All right, man. Booger McFarland every week, brought to you by Central Plumbing Company. We'll close that hour 1 next.